Hello beautiful people. The new update for War Thunder called Tusk Force has just been released. I will in this video mention most of the changes to the game for the battle ratings and game modes I play myself, namely World War II and early Cold War content in mixed battle settings. Hope you enjoy. For Germany we have our new little premium Bf-109 at battle rating 3.0. The cost of this aircraft is 1000 GE. This 109 is the T2 model. A naval version of the 109 but with the arrestor hook removed, so sadly it can't be used for carrier operations properly. I will in the upcoming days make a small review video of this aircraft. Next we have the Canadian Ram 1 for Britain. This vehicle sits at battle rating 3.0 and is basically the Ram 2 vehicle we already have in the British and US tech trees, but with the 6-pounder gun removed and with the 2-pounder gun replacing it. On the test servers, the Ram 1's turret armor was reduced to 36mm on the sides, but luckily they decided not to make that change and instead keep the much beefier armor of the Ram 2. And I'm going to make a small review video for this vehicle in the upcoming days as well. US, Germany, Japan, Italy, China and France have received the M55, a 203mm Tank Destroyer artillery thingy high explosive slinger at battle rating 4.0. Personally, I really don't see the point of having this added, but whatever. Good thing, I guess, is that this vehicle will defy most battle ratings and you can bring it from battle rating 4.0 to top tier and will still be able to murder someone with this gun. I don't think I'll bother making a video on it though. Japan has, for its new Thai sub-tech tree, received the M163 Vulcan SPAAG. It bridges the previous rather large gap from the sub-12 at battle rating 5.3 to the Type 87 at battle rating 8.3. For China we have this Quint 6 at battle rating 5.0. This is the Chinese version of the Russian BE-6 premium aircraft we already have in the game. But this Chinese version has more powerful engines and is more than 100 km/h faster than the Russian BE-6, and that is pretty crazy for a bomber. The price for this Chinese prune monstrosity is 3,850 GE. Britain has received 2 new Mosquitoes at battle rating 3.7. First we have the NF Mark II Night Fighter variant, which cannot carry any secondary armament, but only has its machine guns and cannons. Also added is the Naval Mosquito TR Mark 33. This variant has a radar for fighting vessels and with secondary weapons options like bombs, rockets and a torpedo. More Mosquitoes have been added to the Swedish tech tree with Norwegian Mosquitoes. 3 Mosquitoes have been added, all at battle rating 3.7. First we have the F Mark II, which cannot carry any secondary armament, so it only has its machine guns and cannons. So this aircraft is the fighter variant. 2 strike aircraft versions have also been added. The FB Mark VI, which can also carry rockets and bombs, and the naval FB Mark VI Ash with the same radar for ship hunting as the British version. This Mosquito can also carry rockets and bombs, but no torpedo unlike the British version. And a quick interruption of the regular programming. I have started a channel membership program to support the channel for a couple of bucks. The tier is called Manly Love, and it's pretty simple. I will mention the members in each video I produce, and there's a small number of stream chat emojis special for the members to use when I stream, which I do several times a week. So thank you to Mr. Agent Briggs, Felipe, Mike, Gotitious, Cody and Firebullet. Please join them if you can. And back to the regular programming. Let's look at some of the other changes, and there's quite a few of them. Poland and Eastern Europe has received a huge makeover, and from what I've seen so far, they look pretty nice. New tutorial missions for armaments for new players has also been added. Staying with maps, some changes has also been made on the Ardennes and Ash River maps together with a bug fix. And here are some more updates, and I'll just leave them up for a minute for you to sift through. To note here though is that on the second battle of El Alamein, some points have been blocked, which always sucks. And even more updates. This time some of the houses on these maps have been updated, namely Normandy, Flanders, Breslau, Jürgen Forest and Mostock. On to some vehicle changes. The max airspeed for the French Porsches 630, 631 and 633 has been reduced from 701 to just 462 km an hour, and they now also only have landing flaps. To show how fast this aircraft now falls apart, I made this. So these aircraft have been nerfed severely. Historically correct or not, this really sucks. Here's some more flight model changes. To note here is the Wyvern has become quite a bit heavier, and the Soviet Heavy Warrior 2 bombers have received improved handling. More flight model changes and a personal blow to me. The Ducks have had their combat flaps removed. On the positive side, the P-61s have received web. Speaking of the P-61, it now also had an AP bomb added, and speaking of bombs, all the B-25Js have had their amount of 100-pound bombs changed in some presets. And speaking of presets, more aircraft can now customize their secondary loadouts. And speaking of secondary loadouts, the British Corsair can now carry 500 and 1000 pound bombs, which is pretty nice, but sadly it is the shittier British bombs, not the good US ones. Rockets have been added to the Soviet Tu-2 and all the Su-2 strike aircraft models, which is pretty nice. More bomb options have also been added to the Veraway and the Soviet DB-3 bombers. The rules for calculating the spawn point cost for spawning in a secondary aircraft in ground realistic and naval battles have been changed, and I'll leave it up for a minute. A further change has hit aircraft like the Mosquito with the Molins cannon and the Tempest Vickers. A spawn point cost have been added for the default ammunition builds with 40mm of penetration or more. Previously, only researchable builds incurred an SP cost. I call bullshit on this since an aircraft like the Tempest Vickers is only equipped with the two 47mm cannons. It has no machine guns and it is getting punished for it. On to some ground vehicle changes. All Churchills, the 3-inch gun carrier and the Black Prince now has been blessed by the snail with 5 horsepower more. I think I'm about to faint. What a buff. I can hardly wait to take out the Churchill 7 and feel the crazy acceleration now. Yeehaw, or something British, I don't know. All the M18's roof-mounted 50 cal can now rotate a fully 360 degrees. The weight of the Rogo has been increased by half a ton and the Hellcat has had a bug fix. The Jagdpanzer 38T, aka the Hetzer, has become 200 kilograms heavier and had its speed reduced from 42 to 40 kilometers an hour. But what have we here? An actual buff. The Flakpanzer has had its speed increased from 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, and max reverse speed has also been increased from 9.4 to 11.3 kilometers an hour. Those are actually quite large movement buffs. I better take this thing out again soon. The Skinks have had a track box fixed as well. Battle cruise control have been removed from the PBV 501. all the STKZ 222s, all the M8 Greyhounds, and the, oh God in heaven, 15 cm Sturminfanteriegeschütz 33 auf Fahrgestell Panzerkampfwagen 2, Selbstfahrerfette, yeah, dump gun, that one too. The Tiger 10.5 has had its Panzergranate Rot shell weight increased with 300 grams, and the filler has been reduced from 240 to 100 grams, and that is a huge nerf. The Tiger 2s have also finally had their name changed to reflect reality more, so no more Porsche and Henschel turret name confusion. And speaking of the Tiger 2s, the Tiger 2 number 1-50 has gotten a visual update with Simmerit and track armor added. More internal modules have also been added. The Flakpanzer 341, which players have not been able to obtain for about 5 years now, just as the Tiger 2 10.5 and the Panther 2, has also gotten upgrades in this update. First off, the guns have been renamed, so sure. Now what this update does not mention is the bonkers increase in armor pen for the 37mm APHC shell. Instead of the previous 49mm of armor pen, the new gun's APHC shell can now pen 87mm at point blank range. So this change guiding has completely broken a vehicle once again, and this vehicle has not had its battle rating changed. It still sits at 6.3. My guess is though that it will soon go up to 7.3. Luckily for us mortals who do not own this vehicle, you don't see it that often. But when you do, run your ass off until it has its battle rating increased. And besides that crazy APHC upgrade, it also has gotten some armor upgrades. It is now harder to receive the Heavy Metal Hero and Heavy Metal Fury rewards. The mode who got hit the hardest is the Ground Realistic mode. The damage radius of overpressure affecting crew has been changed. It is now not quite as severe as it used to be. Sadly, this information is quite weak. They should have included some numbers to make sense of the scale of the changes. But rule of thumb is, the larger the explosive mass, the larger the change, as in reduction of overpressure effect. I've seen the numbers from the data mining, and for instance, if a bomb has a 20 kg explosive mass, the overpressure effect was 17 meters and now it is 12 meters. Another example is a 500 kg explosive mass was previously 50 meters and is now 35 meters. Now these numbers were explosive mass to outer overpressure radius as an open top. There are also changes to the inner radius. On the graphics side of things, we have a new visual effect for emergency fuel jettison and updates for rockets, missiles, ammunition fire in ground vehicles and ground vehicles fires and contrails. And oh boy, here we go again with more changes to the sound design. Autocannons and machine guns on ground vehicles, naval vessels and aircraft have been reworked. The firing sounds for several ground vehicles with 2 or more machine guns or cannons have been updated. Explosion sounds have been, according to Gaijin, and I put this in air quotes, been improved. And more. But wait, there are more sound changes and I'll leave them up for a minute. A new option has been added for the chat and voice chat settings. You can now hide messages from potential chat offenders. The context being players who have received a set number of chat-related complaints over the last 30 days. And that was about what I have decided to add to this video from the update. If you have already found hidden changes that has not been reflected in the patch notes, do me a favor and add them to the comment section. Thanks for watching, and remember to deploy your dive brakes. Have a good one.